Hey guys, so this is going to take you through the introduction module. This is just a brief video to provide you with instructions on how to complete this introduction module. So you have 3 assignments plus a little excerpt to read about your mindset for this course. So I'm going to go over the assignments really quickly. The first one is a participation agreement quiz. So this is basically a true or false, yes or no quiz. And it's telling me that you have read the syllabus, you understand the course policy, you understand how this course is going to be maintained, and you're agreeing that you want to go ahead and participate in this course. So you pick true, you submit, boom, you're done, you get the points for it. If you decide you don't want to participate in this course and you click no or false, you will not get any points for the quiz, but then that prompts me to reach out and see if you want to drop the class or see if there's an issue that you have with the course policy, so forth and so on. So that is a brief quiz. It's like a buy-in to the class saying, you know what, I've read all the rules, I get it, I'm ready, let's go. This next assignment is really easy. It's an intro discussion. This doesn't have to be elaborate. I provided you with an introduction to myself up here in instructor information. You can model it after mine. You do not have to share anything you don't want to share. This is just kind of like a intro for me to get to know who you are. This is an online class, and so I like to have the intros so that I can kind of get to know who my students are and what their goals are, as well as this assignment allows you guys to get to know each other. So what I want you to do is I want you to create one introduction post that introduces yourself to the class, and then I want you to pick 2 people who you found their introduction interesting, and I want you to reply to them, and I want you to reply to be a little bit more than nice to meet you or I liked your post. All right, find something interesting, make it personal, talk to them like you would talk to them in person, okay? And then this next assignment, this is an important one, so I'm going to spend just a few minutes showing you what this is. If you've looked at our course calendar, you notice that every chapter we go over, there is a corresponding inquisitive. An inquisitive is an interactive assignment that goes over the content of the chapter. Inquisitive is fun. It's kind of like a little video game, and you get to gamble with your points. What this inquisitive is it's teaching you how to use the program. So it's very, very, very important that you do this. If you do not complete the how to use inquisitive, you're going to struggle with every other inquisitive throughout the semester. It's a link, so all you have to do is click on it, and it will take you right to the program. This is the introduction page. It gives you information to read. For this inquisitive, you need to make sure you read all of this before you start answering questions, okay? It tells you when the grades are accepted by. And then this is also really interesting. There's a video here that is kind of a quick start video to inquisitive. I would tell you to go ahead and watch that as well, okay? So when you've read all of this information, you're going to start answering questions. So all you do is just click right here, and boom, here is your first slide, okay? Some things to look at is your confidence slider. This is where you gamble with your points. So each question you have an opportunity to lose or gain points. And in order to get a grade on this assignment, you have to reach 2 goals. The first thing you have to do is you have to answer at least 10 questions. Once you answer 10 questions, right or wrong, no matter how many points you earn, a grade is going to appear here, okay? If you want that grade to be 100, you have to reach 800 points. So that means that if you choose to put your slider all the way over here at I know, that means each question is worth 100 points. So if you answer 8 questions correct, you have got your 800 points. However, in order to get a 100, you have to answer at least 10 questions. So you need to keep going until you create 10 complete questions, okay? However, if you don't know the answer to the question, or if you get it wrong, you lose points. So make sure you read the question appropriately. Make sure your confidence slider is where you want it to be. It can be at 100, it can be at 80, 60, 40, or 20. I would strongly recommend that you do not leave this on 20. If anything, go big or go home. Keep it on 100 and keep going, because you always have the opportunity to re-answer the question for half of those points back. But if you keep this slider on 20 for every question, you have to answer 40 questions to get a 100. You don't want to do that. Don't do that to yourself, okay? Questions won't always look like this, but since this is kind of a cheesy how to use assignment, these questions are super easy. So I'm going to do this one question with you to kind of show you what happens when you answer a question. So Inquisitive is a formative quizzing tool, which means it is designed to help you learn. Your responses help you and your instructor identify what concepts or topics you understand and what you need to study more. Every response, even a wrong answer, is an opportunity for growth and learning. First, click on Quizmo's pizza slice to see what incorrect feedback looks like and how it guides you to the correct answer. So you're going to want to do that. So this is what happens when you get something wrong, okay? You can still earn 50 points if you go back and answer it correctly, but at this point you haven't earned any points. So you're going to say try again. Okay, and when you try again, it will guide you to the correct answer. Okay, so it says eyeball. So you click on it. Oh, you got it correct. Yay. If you notice, your activity score went to 50. Okay, had you got it correct the first time, that would have been 100. And the goal here is to make this activity score 800 and to answer 10 questions, and you will get a 100 on these every single time. The other thing to know is that if you do not get a 100 after you answer 10 questions, you can keep going to earn a 100. So these are basically fail-proof. I would love for you to only have to answer 10 questions and get your 100 and move forward. That's the goal. But maybe you just struggled with a chapter and you need to answer 20 questions to get a 100. It's all about your work effort. Okay? And so once you've answered a question correctly, you hit next question, and then it takes you to a new question. Okay? So this is all about how to use Inquisitive. So make sure that you take this and that you ask me questions about it after you're done, okay? It's important that you understand how Inquisitive works because you're going to be using it a lot. After you do your Inquisitive, then you just have a little thing that I'd like you to read for this class. It goes over the sociological perspective. I'm not going to read this to you. You're capable of reading it. I'm just going to kind of touch on the big points here. First and foremost, the sociological perspective is a way of looking at things in order to understand them and not judge them. And when I say understand, you need to understand that that word does not mean agree with. We're going to talk about a lot of different subjects in here, from culture to race to sex to gender, but we're looking at it from a sociological perspective. So we're not looking at it based on an individual belief or value system. We're looking at it like social scientists, and we're asking questions. We're asking, why does this pattern of behavior exist? Why is it important to sociology? How is society using this? And instead of saying this is right or wrong or moral or immoral, what you're saying is, I'm understanding why these patterns exist. So it has nothing to do with your current mindset. I'm not asking you to change your beliefs or your values. That's not what this class is about. I'm asking you to create a new perspective in your mind where you can step outside of society's bubble and look at it in a new light, in a light that says, I never noticed that when you see a couple driving in a car, the man is normally driving. I never thought to ask myself why that is, why that pattern of behavior exists. That's what we're going to do. We're going to question a lot of behaviors that we look at and think those are normal. And then we're going to dissect them as to why they actually are considered normal, why we do that. Why does the male partner in a relationship tend to drive more than the female? Well, we could trace that back to male dominance and how the male gender is perceived. They need to be a leader, they need to be in charge, they need to be head of the household. These are things that are taught to them. So that would include operating a vehicle. In the 20s up to the 40s and 50s, women drivers, just that wasn't a thing. And so we've done a lot of rearranging our thinking in the last 100 years that has changed various norms. And so I want you to read this. You can ask me questions about it if you have it, but I want you to step into this class with the right mindset. Again, we're looking at it as a sociologist, as a scientist that's asking the question, why? We're not looking at it as an individual through a certain set of values or a certain set of beliefs. Okay, so what we're not looking at in terms of right or wrong. Okay, so that will take you through your introduction module. Okay, you have those 3 assignments that need to be done. If you have any questions about these assignments, let me know. Otherwise, I wish you guys good luck.